So now we will be discussing the remaining 4 different types of DNS records. If you have not visited the previous lesson, you can go to the previous lesson to understand what the other 4 records were. In this one, we will start with the Srv record. So an Srv record is basically also known as the service record. So as the name indicates, a service record is basically used to specify the host name and the port number of servers for specified services. So this is rarely used kind of record where it is utilized for session initiation protocols and the XMPP protocols. So how it is actually specified? So these are the parameters that go inside it. First is the service identifier or the service name. Then the type of protocol that is going to be used. So it's a TCP protocol. And then the primary domain name. So this identifies the service with a unique type. And you can specify a bunch of servers along with the port numbers to point your traffic for that particular service. So this is how a Srv record is defined. A text record or a TXT record is used primarily to authenticate your domain. So let's say you want to generate a certificate for smarterbrains.in. So how will the certificate authority actually know that this domain belongs to you? So they will basically tell that, okay, Abhishek, just go ahead and insert this particular text record in your domain name server. So we insert something of this sort. So we insert a particular record, we are saying some value. Let's say in case of Let's Encrypt, they give something like Acme challenge and then some text value to be inserted. So how this SSL certificate verifier does this check is they will try to access the text record with this particular name and validates that the text value is as per the expectation. That ensures that your domain is actually owned by you. So that is where normally the text records come into picture. However, there can be multiple other uses of text record as well to basically store any sort of garbage values if you want, any sort of secrets or any sort of relevant information about the domain if you want, that can be stored in the text records. Next is the AAA IPv6 records. So IPv6 records are similar to the A record that we saw in the previous lesson. The only difference is it takes a IPv6 address rather than the IPv4 address like in the alias record. The Caa records. So Caa is basically the certificate authority record, which basically tells that these are the authorized certificate authorities for the domain. So whenever a browser basically opens up a domain, let's say I have opened up hpanel.hostinger.com, it has some specific certificate authority, right? So it says that it is issued by some particular CA server. So whether this CA is valid for the domain or not is identified using this particular records. So this is where the CA actually comes into picture. So this is all about DNS that you need to know. Feel free to drop messages or comments that you have doubts about, and do subscribe to the channel if you loved the tutorials. Thank you.